Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and hold on to your hats. We've told a story last week where Glasgow Council are so cash-strapped that they're having to fire 172 teachers, getting rid of those posts because they can't afford to keep them, because they decided to virtue signal to the great wise one, Humza Yousaf, that they will freeze the council tax. Of course, they've got to put everything else up to help pay for that, and now they're introducing a parking levy. It's like a mafia protection ring. How dare you earn money without giving us a little cut? This, of course, will utterly destroy the city. People just go, I can't afford to work anymore. They won't do this, they won't do that. Businesses will leave and so forth. These people are morons. But even then, it isn't enough. And they've looked at the books again and they've said the 172 teachers, damn it, we're going to have to let a few more go. Only it's not a few more. And in total, Glasgow Council is about to get rid of 450 teaching posts. That's your children and grandchildren, you people in Glasgow. You people who keep voting SNP. You are now voting to have your children's futures destroyed through a lack of quality education. And all for what? Some vacuous, wet dream of independence that will never happen. It's evil. Let's have a look. So, Glasgow City Council could shed 450 teaching posts in a bid to plug the funding black hole. Because they've gone and opened their gob and said, no, we'll freeze this. We'll freeze the council tax because the wise one, old Humza, said we must freeze it. Therefore, we will freeze it. Look at us. And in order to pay for this freezing, of course, the price of going to swimming pools or car park and things like that is going up. And, of course, this very, very destructive parking levy that they want to bring in, which will destroy jobs. But they want to do that so they can virtue signal and show, oh, look, we're helping the rich not have a huge rise in their council tax this year. Again, attacking the poor and helping the rich. The SNP way. Anyway, the plan to cut teaching numbers in Scotland's largest authority has prompted an angry reaction from SNP ministers. So they're actually getting moaned at by their own side now. Glasgow City Council is in line to shed 450 teaching posts, more than double the amount previously feared, 2.5 times. The huge cut would save the cash-strapped local authority £27 million, or nearly £28 million over 3 years. It was previously reported that the SNP Council was considering a reduction of 172 posts. That's the one I did the video on the other day and thinking that was bad enough. According to the Times Educational Supplement magazine, the figure only covered 1 year, and the 3-year number is closer to 450 posts. A cut will set up a clash between the council and the SNP-led government, which wants to see teacher numbers maintained and indeed actually increased, because the policy was to have a certain level of teacher to teacher pupil ratio, and so you're going to have now Spinning Jenny up there in Westminster, in Holyrood, going, oh yeah, teacher numbers, and then they are about to cut 450 of them. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's almost as though none of them have got a clue what they're doing. When you have Jenny Gilruth saying, we're going to maintain teacher numbers, we're going to increase it to this number, we're going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And she sits there and she talks the talk, blah, blah, blah. And all of it is, coming out of her mouth, is sheer SNP, unadulterated bullshit. Because now the SNP are cutting 450 teachers in one city alone, and simply so they can virtue signal their help and aid for the richest in society. It's a wonderful thing to behold. Now, of course, the irony is, it is sort of the working class and the underclass, if you will, that will tend to be the SNP supporters. They're the ones who really need their kids educated to lift them up and out. But for some reason, they think that, not educating kids, it's fine. Didn't do me any harm, as they look around their hovel, swinging out their buckfast. And that's it. And this is the problem they have. In a letter to town halls this month, Education Secretary Jenny Gilruth wrote, I remain extremely disappointed by the reduction in teachers this year. Your whole life has been one of disappointment, Jenny. you're a very disappointing person because you joined the party that fails at everything. You know, and boy, are you going to be disappointed come October. Anyway, she said it will be more difficult to reach our shared goal to close the poverty-related attainment gap nor improve outcomes with fewer teachers in our schools. You have created this attainment gap by your policies. And if you want to actually help the lowest achieving people, you need to put more teachers in. And so what do? You cut funding to education because not just this, but Shona Robertson also cut the education supplement, which means less money is going into education. Fortunately, though, Angus's budget is increasing, so that fat oaf can carry on flying around the world and quaffing champagne. Meanwhile, the kids of Scotland, screw them. Who cares? We send all ours private. She said, I also believe we need that capacity to help us achieve aspirations regarding behaviour, attendance, reduction in class contact time. Let me tell you, there's a massive shortfall in teacher numbers already. You're about to get rid of 450 because you can't afford them. But actually, across Scotland, there are so few teachers and so few people want to go into education in Scotland now. The physical problems in classrooms is bad. The stresses related from overwork is worse. And now you're going to tax the bloody arse off them. Is it any wonder teaching in Scotland is falling? And now they're just going to randomly cut 450 posts for money and funding. The kids of Scotland haven't got a chance, have they? Anyway, she said specific funding next year would be conditional on councils agreeing to the outset to maintain the numbers. Now, this is the other thing, because what happens is they have, like I say, they have this amount that's given by Shona Robinson, this uplift number. And Jenny Gilruth has said, okay, we've got all this money. If you maintain your money, you maintain your teacher numbers, you will get this amount of money from us. And it's shared out, sort of a pro rata basis. And indeed, if you actually can increase slightly your teacher numbers, you get slightly more out of that pot. Now, Glasgow Council will have said, okay, well, we've got that money coming in, blah, blah, blah. And they've done their budget based on money coming in. Now they've cut the teachers. Jenny Gilruth has got no option now. No option. She has to cut that educational supplement that she pays to the councils. And so they're probably going to end up with millions of pounds, even less than what they would have had because they've got rid of those teachers now. That will upset their budgets. They'll go, oh my God, we've got even less money now. What can we do? Let's get rid of even more teachers. Because ultimately getting rid of teachers is more important to get rid of teachers than it is to, I don't know, cut down on old 2 seats first class travel. Or, stop the champagne bottles being thrown in 24 hours a day into the council chamber. Things like that. Oh, let's spend money on something we don't even deal with. Oh, Glasgow giving money away in foreign aid. Glasgow. Not Scotland shouldn't be doing it. It's a UK-wide thing. But Glasgow giving money in foreign aid. Why? Oh, so we look wonderful. And and if we give it to a Muslim country, then, Hamza Yousaf will shine. Is she hoping to get out? Listen, love, listen. Doesn't matter how much you kiss his arse. Hamza Yousaf has already got the Saturday girl. He ain't going to be shagging you. Anyway, she said, my officials will be in touch with individual councils to agree grant conditions, including the number of teachers I expect to be maintained. Ha ha, ain't happening. Council spokesman said, officers are looking at several education service reform options. By reform options, they mean firing teachers. As part of a budget that required almost £108 million worth of savings from council services over the next 3 years, not including social care. Well, I got an idea. Put your bloody council tax up. Screw Hamza Yousaf. Say we can't afford it. Unless you give us like £500 million, ain't happening. And then you'll just see the little look of panic on Hamza's face as he realises he's in a job he's not capable of performing. She said, for many years, education spending has been protected relative to other services. In the budget process, however, the education budget now amounting to more than half of service expenditure directed by the council, that is significantly more challenging when substantial savings are still required. Cut all the salaries for the council. There you go. That's a big saving. Tell councillors if they want to travel somewhere, they pay for it. There's another saving. Stop giving money in foreign aid. There's another saving. It's easy when you go looking, innit? Anyway, meetings have taken place, she said, with teacher trade unions to discuss the challenges and make them aware of the savings needed. And senior staff are also in meetings with headmasters or head teachers. Why? Unless you're putting in the folding, nothing is going to happen. And now 450 teaching posts across the whole of Glasgow gone. Glasgow children screwed. Well done, SNP, and even well done, SNP voter. Good job, you morons. Coming up. Shows where the priority lies, doesn't it? All that money that goes into independence, and now school kids are having teachers removed. Getting on towards, by the time it's finished, it'll be 500 teachers. The same 450. It'll be more. It'll be over 500. And at the same time then, because they've dropped the numbers, Shona Robinson's little pot of money for educational uplift, that'll go as well. They'll probably have to get rid of another 100 teachers or something else. They'll close. And if you think the 650 for parking this year, parking at your work, is enough, next year it'll be 1,000. These people haven't got a clue. They seem to think they can just tax and tax and tax. And of course, where are they taxing? They're taxing the poor, because everything they tax affects the poor more than the rich, because they only tax a value. Oh, it's 650 quid. If you're earning 20,000 a year, 650 quid is a lot. If you're earning £200,000 a year, 650 quid is nothing. And so they're actually taxing the poor much, much more as a percentage than the rich. Why? It's because they don't have the ability to go to the rich and say, right, we want 8% or 10% or whatever. And so they just take it off the poor, because the poor can't fight back. Well, the poor can fight back. They can give up their jobs. They can move. The rich certainly can, and that is happening. Berwick is seen as something like 170% uplift, according to a thing I read last week. 170% uplift in interest in buying houses in Berwick upon Tweed. Why? It's because people are saying, screw that. And also, if they move their job south, they don't have to pay the parking fee either. And so all these companies will move. It will destroy the Scottish economy. But of course, you have to say either they're doing it because they're so stupid, or they're doing it deliberately. So which is it? Are they too stupid to run the country, or are they doing it deliberately to destroy the country? Either way, they need to go. And if you're an SNP voter, look to what they're doing and think, yeah, this is great. As you're watching your children come out of school stupid, and all the jobs around you going, and your NHS falling apart, and you can't blame Westminster, because every one of these is 17 years of SNP rule. Good luck, you stupid morons. Done. Coming out and finishing. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.